Well, here with Wellington United assistant manager Hugo Langton after what many would see as a disappointing 1-0 defeat against Hampton and Richmond. Hugo, Jamie said on Saturday that he didn't feel we started well on Saturday and we was going to aim to come out and start well today. It didn't really happen again today, did it, at the start of the game?
No, I think that's fair to say. To go 1-0 down so early as well was disappointing, and from my point of view, it's really the only thing that they threatened with, and that's made the result a little bit more disappointing this afternoon, because whilst I thought I think Jamie used the word lethargic, didn't he, Saturday? I think we looked lethargic again, and why that is, we bring the boys out, we warm them up, nothing's changed, we get them on it, we fill their heads full of positive stuff, we tell them what they need to go and do, but for whatever reason, it's just not happening, especially first half at the moment, and we've got to figure out why pretty quickly. But second half, I thought we knocked on the door a lot. I thought the keeper's done particularly well with a few bits and bobs. We're a threat against them set plays, and there's lots still to work on. It's the way that it is at the moment. We've just got to keep plugging away. We've got to keep believing in them, because at the end of the day, the players that we've got in there are decent players, and obviously I'm not going to come out here and have a go at them. I'm going to defend them, because I'm with them. But you've got to do the right things in games. You've got to back yourself. You've got to win your individual battles, and you've got to have that mindset that, you know what, I'm not going to get beaten by my opponent today, or I'm not going to get done 1v1. I'm going to score. I'm going to stop crosses. I'm going to get my head on stuff, but it's got to be 1 to 11 from the very first minute. And we've got a lot of experience in that in that change room. We've got a lot of people that have won cups and leagues and played in higher levels and good sides, and now we've got to start bringing it to the table. Just all the players, all the staff, we've all just got to bring everything to the table, and we've just got to keep going, and we'll keep working hard. That's all we can do.
So Hugo, looking at that, the reason it's not happening, would you say it could be 1, fitness, it could be 2, heart?
Heart's a funny.
But you're saying you want to get on with
yes. I don't think fitness is a key. It's very hard to play 2 games in 3 days, and we finished the game incredibly strongly as well on Saturday, and we finished the game incredibly strong today. So I don't think that anyone can question the fitness of us as a team. Obviously 1 or 2 might tire. It was a shame we had to use one of our subs early when Ian Gale had to go off and Olu came on, because we'd planned obviously for 3 subs in the second half to be attacking players to try and give us more pace as the game went on. But I'm not going to question the heart of the boys. Yes, we need a little bit more from them.
Is it mentality?
Listen, you'd have to ask the players, if I'm honest with you, because I got up this morning. I got up at 6:30 this morning, and I couldn't wait to get in here today. And because I'm thinking, do you know what? We can get out of this mob today. We can, we knew where they were strong. We knew where they were weak. We knew if we could try and get in behind them. We knew if we get Jeffrey on the ball. We made a decision to play Harry Phipps through the middle today, and I thought he did well. He had 2 or 3 good chances from set plays, and credit to the goalkeeper, he's dealt with them. He's made a few good saves, hasn't he? So
was it just tactical to play Harry today?
Well, no, Tom's it's not nothing to do with injury or anything like that. Tom's he was tired. I felt he looked tired Saturday. And you're careful that you don't want players to accumulate fatigue, because that brings on injury. So that's what it was down to. We felt we needed a presence up there, and we felt that Harry was the one to do it. And to be fair, we said to him, just go and have a row with their 2 centre halves, and we'll get Brad buzzing around you to try and pick up bits. But I don't think it's right to sit and talk about Tom, because I thought we did okay. He did his best and did what we asked him to do. And on another day, he'd probably be standing there holding a match ball, wouldn't he, having scored a hat-trick. But that's not having a go at Tom. He's just coming to a new side, and that's essentially what we are as well. And I understand people's frustrations. It's frustrating for us as well as a management team. The players are frustrated. I think that, it's hard when you don't have a lot of contact with the players. We're now going. We've been Saturday, we've gone today, we'll train Thursday, then we play Saturday, we play Tuesday, we train Thursday, we play Saturday, we play Tuesday, we train Thursday. So it's really, really difficult to have a lot of contact with the team. So for example, my previous clubs, it was a bit different when you're 3 mornings a week, for example, but because you get more time with players, or Bromley just got more time with players, and that's where it is hard. But we'll keep backing ourselves, because we've got some good players in there, and it's a long season, and all it takes is that we go back on a run. We've just been 4 unbeaten. I know we've only won one of them, but we've lost today. But the key thing is now we've got to make sure that we get something at Bath and we get something at Braintree.
Well, 1 out of 7, Hugo. So
yeah.
things have got to change. We've got to improve. Yeah, we can say.
Yeah, absolutely.
4 unbeaten, but
look, we need to. If my honest opinion, we need to be more ruthless in front of goal as well when the chances come, because we're creating chances every single game now. If you look at the Bognor game, through every game until today, we've created chances, but you've got to take them. You have to take them. Doesn't matter whether it comes to the manager to score, whether it's Bradley Goldberg, or I'd like to see the midfield chipping in with a few as well. There's plenty to work on, but we've just got to keep believing in ourselves and keep backing ourselves, because if I didn't think this was going to come good, well, then why would you put all this effort into trying to make the team what you want it to be?
Lloyd Macklin, was he available today?
He was, yeah. Unfortunately for him, we couldn't get him on the pitch. It didn't help, obviously, with Ian Gale coming off and bring Olu on. We felt that obviously that we wanted to bring Nana on to give us some pace out on the left and some creativity and some cleverness. It was a toss-up, I suppose, between putting Tom Bradbrook up front or Lloyd, and we felt that we'd go with Tom just because obviously when the team's 1-0 up away from home and they're defending deeper and deeper and deeper and you're trying to put balls in their box, well, that's Tom Bradbrook's game, isn't it? Whereas if it was 1-0 maybe to us and they're chasing the game and they're higher up the pitch, and that's when maybe you look to put Lloyd on, because then you look to get him behind alongside Brad.
We'll go back to the goal. It was early. Did we switch off? Jack Corley was having a moan with the ref, and seconds later the ball's in, the season mistake, and it's in the back of the net.
If I'm completely honest with you, where I'm stood, to have that view straight across to there with 15 bodies in there, I can't tell you exactly what happened, but you've got to stay with your men in the box, and until I see it again on the video, I can't really comment on it.
But it's disappointing to lose to a side that probably on the face of it, I know last year they were decent, but they're not one of the best sides that played this year. They didn't really test us too much.
No, I mean that's the thing, They went 1-0 up early and they give them something to hang on to. And to be fair to them, they overall defended well. You know what you're going to get with Alan Dowson teams, and that today was an Alan Dowson team. Their luck turned a little bit for them today. They turned up here today and they were like, where are we going to get a win from? And it came for them today, and that's what we've got to go to Bath now, and we've got to believe that, which will be a very, very tough game, and it's a tough place to go when they're a good side and they've got some good players in there, but we've got to go there and believe that we can beat them. And so we'll reflect on it overnight tonight, and we'll plan ourselves accordingly for the rest of the week and how we're going to go about Bath and how we're going to try and get ourselves back on the winning trail again. That's all we can do. We've just got to keep believing in ourselves, because that's all we can do at the end of the day. We keep working hard. I think we need to work a little bit more again on our forward play and opening teams up that sit a bit deeper on us. Credit to Hampton, they sat in deep today and they defended well, but we've got to learn how to break that sort of thing down, and we've got to be a little bit more creative and back ourselves to be a bit creative as well, because we've got players that can unlock defences. And I'm not just talking about your front two, I'm talking about your wide players and your midfield players.
Is there anything the management team can do, bearing in mind we started the last 2 games slowly, 1 at home, 1 away, is there anything that's in your mind that might help us come out and start a bit quicker, or be able to start? Is it lacking confidence?
That's a tough question, because this is my 10th year in the dugout in non-league football, and from a management point of view, it doesn't matter whether I've managed the team, or I've assisted, or I've coached, whatever my role's been, you turn up on a Saturday or a Tuesday, and if you've done your job as management, then what else can you do? We do our homework on the opposition. We assess our own performances, from the games that we get sent to us. We have people go and watch the opposition. We sit and we watch all the videos that are coming through on recent games. I spent my whole day yesterday sitting watching footage, So I know Jamie did and I know Jack did, and we all spoke on the phone yesterday. We've all come in. We're doing everything that we can, but at the same time, we've all got to hold our hands up. Maybe if there's things that we can do better, then we've got to think about them and think, how can we do it better? But nothing's ever changed in my career in terms of preparation for teams. You come out and you warm up and you try and get players, you get their heart rates up when you try and get them on the ball, moving the ball around and preparing them for all the things that are going to happen to them during the game. But when it comes to 3 o'clock, when they go over the white line, it's very difficult from the side, unless you're playing FIFA 17 and you've got a controller. All you can do from the side is encourage them and give them some advice and just keep encouraging them to try and do the right things. And if there's things that we feel that we can do better, we'll hold our hands up, but quite privately amongst the 3 of us. And if we can do anything better, then of course we will do. But with 7 games in, you've got 35 games to go. You're at the end of month 1 of 9. So it's not all doom and gloom. I'd be a lot more worried if we weren't making opposite goalkeepers make good saves. You've got 10 minutes to go. They're under that much pressure. The opposition bench is encouraging the team to take into the corner with 10 minutes to go. And I'd be worried if it was, we weren't causing problems going forward or looking threatening. Then you'd be worried. And from another point of view is that apart from the goal today, what did Dylan Barnes have to do? But that's credit also to Hampton because they
one sitter at a far post as well, though, didn't they?
Possibly, but
you're right. They didn't cause us too much.
No, they didn't. But what they've done is they've put in a professional performance and they've slowed the game down when they can. I think we had a shot.
Slowing the game down 5 minutes after scoring.
Of course they will do, but that's been streetwise, and maybe there's times as well when we go 1-0 up, home or away, that
Absolutely.
just relax a bit and manage the game, and we've got the experience to do it. And I keep everyone that I've spoken to in the opening 7 games. I'm not going to go home and stay awake all night worrying about it, because I'm not worried about it. But I also recognise we've got a lot of work to do, and that's from a coaching point of view. That's what I'm here to do. And same with Jamie, and the same with Jack.
Craig Lewis has not been at the last 2 games, and we started both games slowly. Can we look into anything there that our fitness coach wasn't here?
You could do, but at the end of the day, in terms of what your warm-up is that the initial part of your warm-up before you get into to working on things with balls is just about getting your heart rate up and making sure that that you can have a stretch off. But it is mostly about getting your heart rate up. So whether Craig Lewis gets their heart rate up or Jack Parkinson gets their heart rate up or I get their heart rate up, to me it doesn't make any difference whether who does that part, because you can make football as complicated as you want, or you can just be honest and go, do you know what, we got their heart rates up, we did the ball work that we always do and I've done with previous sides successfully, and obviously we'll welcome Craig back this week because he's part of the staff and he's a key part of what we do, but I think it would be a little bit harsh to suggest that his absence has been the reason why, because there's been other games as well. Let's not forget that we've started pretty slowly.
Absolutely. So we go on to Bath on Saturday. Do you envisage there could be any player movements in and out before that?
I don't see why there would be. We've got 4 players on loan at the moment. We've got a squad. We've got a lot of options, attacking options, defensive options. So player-wise, as I know people might watch this and they're listening to the post-match analysis and whatever the game, and they might think I'm crazy, but if you keep changing your staff, you keep changing your playing staff, you'll never get any cohesion whatsoever. And as I said, you've got players in that changing room that have played in the league above, for your Dovers, your Maystones, your Bromleys. You've got players that have won leagues, you've got staff that have won leagues. We've all of us on the management team have won leagues, so we've got a lot of experience. Now it's time to, maybe we've got to start to think more with our experience and use it accordingly, and that has to go and start at Bath next week. We've got to go and put in an experienced performance next week and bat well.
Jack Parter, will he be returning to the club? Will his loan be extended, do you know?
Right at this moment in time, I couldn't tell you the answer to that, and it's not me avoiding it.
Absolutely.
I'm not too sure where he's at the moment. Obviously he's gone to Kingstonian, and I think he's done quite well there. But
we have to be looked into in the next week or so.
Yeah, I think it's something we'll talk about during the week. What's happening with Jack? So I don't know the answer to that one right now.
Well, it's never nice talking after a loss, Hugo. So thanks for coming.
No, listen. I'll always come out, or Jamie or Jack. One of us will always come out. It's right to face people and answer questions, and hopefully just try and give people that little bit of hope that football can be difficult, but we've all got to keep believing. We need the supporters to stay with us. We need people to keep backing us. Because I'm telling you, it will come right. It will come good.
and we'll have a right look at Bath during the week and go.
Oh, absolutely,
frame of mind.
absolutely. We'll look forward to it. Absolutely, 100%.
Brilliant. Thanks for that. Hugh.
No, you're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Not a problem. Cheers.